Several states are now trying to centralize currency with a so-called central bank digital currency, which is, by the way, not currency at all. It's software.
The world has changed so much in the last 3 years that I just find it absolutely unbelievable, and I didn't believe evil at this scale existed.
With 1 week until veto day, Governor Kristi Noem has issued 4 vetoes, including House Bill 1193. The bill involves legal definitions for cryptocurrency under the Uniform Commercial Code. Noem says she's concerned how the currency is being defined and if the bill would lead to a central bank digital currency. Republican Senator David Wheeler says only Congress has the power to create money.
You see in there is a redefinition of currency, that it says government CBDCs are okay if they're run by the government, but any other form is then banned. It is clearly a change for how people's assets are utilized. It clearly limits the freedom of people to use other forms of currency that they may choose to if it is a digital currency.
Unlike cryptocurrency, CBDCs are centralized. They are issued and controlled by government entities just like fiat currency. In unstable or authoritarian countries, that could lead to currency manipulation.
There's no government, there's no person that can just print Bitcoin into infinity, right? There's a cap to it, which is different from the way that some governments operate, which is they can ostensibly keep printing money, which would devalue that nation's currency. We've seen that all over the world. Yeah, can you use that programmable money to block certain people out of the financial system or restrict their freedom in some way? I think that makes a lot of people very deeply uncomfortable.
The currency is programmable. They can control almost every aspect of your life once we get on any programmable currency where they can, if they don't like you, they can make it so that you can't spend any currency within a 5-mile radius, outside of a 5-mile radius of your home. If they don't want you to travel, you won't be able to buy airline tickets or take an Uber or pay for a hotel room.
President Biden will sign this executive order today. Now, this order calls understanding how a central bank digital currency might work urgent.
The U.S. isn't alone. A growing number of countries are looking into digital versions of their currencies. More than 100 countries, representing more than 95% of the world's GDP, are looking to create their own digital currencies.
If the government doesn't approve of what you're purchasing, if they have the only form of digital currency out there and that is endorsed and utilized in the country, they can control how you spend that money and thus take away all your freedom.
You've heard of Bitcoin, Ether, Dogecoin and the like. These are cryptocurrencies designed to allow you to pay for stuff without any government or bank being involved. They're based on blockchain technology, a kind of digital ledger that records transactions in a chain. It's hard to tamper with because doing so leaves a trace elsewhere, potentially for everyone to see. That transparency is one of its most promising features.
What is the difference between what the Reserve Bank is doing here and a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum?
So the difference is that what the Reserve Bank's doing here is they're using the underlying blockchain technology to test a digital dollar. So they will have oversight of this whole pilot and they will maintain control of the money supply. So it's completely different to other unregulated.
Okay, so is this digital dollar that they're issuing and doing this pilot with, is it actually a dollar like I know it?
Yes, yes.
So therefore it's worth 67 point blah-de-blah US cents right now?
Precisely. You can think of it as exactly the dollar that you know today, but it's in a different form factor, a different technological format, which means that it can do things that the dollars we have today cannot do.
Because it's digital, I can pay this digital with my mobile, has nothing to do with central bank digital currency. But I think the fundamental change is the underlying business model is as a retail customer, as a citizen, will have an account with the central bank. I don't have just an account with a commercial bank. I have it with the central bank, which has a lot of advantages for me. It's safe, it feels good. But, there are some challenges with this because the central bank is ultimately, it's a public office. Commercial banks are under a commercial regime. Central banks are not under a commercial regime. What about interest rates on an account like that? When things are going well, how does this look like? oh, on a bank run, how does this look like? Is this accelerating the bank run because I have a safe account with somebody?
China is no stranger to surveillance either, from monitoring the 850 million users on WeChat to deploying half the world's security cameras. And now the country has control of a digital currency in its sights. President Xi Jinping admitted in 2019 that the country wanted to improve its financial system by controlling people, watching money, and tightening the system firewall.